Right.
Just got to do it.
Just got to do it, and you know, sometimes in life you just got to do okay.
I always get the squeaky chair.
Sometimes you got to clue it. I did switch them around when you were out. Sometimes you...
Oh. Willkommen.
Konnichiwa. Yeomans. CineMortuary desu ka? Metal Gear Solid 3. Hideo Kojima. Yeomans. Final Fantasy. Sephiroth. Wano no Nibelheimer. Kaicho no ka. Borake.
Welcome to episode 51. Let me do my intro, man. Cut that. I'm going to start over. No, stop it and I'll start again.
Can I just apologise officially right now, since we're recording, to the country of Japan and its residents?
What the fuck? That was pretty authentic.
You don't hear my line no more. You don't make it ring, 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 ring. I can't keep this on the low. I want you to make it ring, 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 ring.
Welcome to episode 51 of the CineMortuary podcast. Our fortnightly look at all things remake, sequel, prequel, squeakquel of the horror variety. My name's Rob. Sitting to my left is Chris Wilson.
Hello.
And sitting opposite me is Dave Walker. Dave, hello.
You alright?
I'm fine. How are you?
Just waiting for the bomb to drop.
Oh, no. Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, fuck off, no.
No, you didn't.
No.
I'd like to apologise to the country of Japan
Yeah, for you fuckers.
for everything.
You did that.
So, this week, we are looking at the American language remake of the Japanese horror film, The Ring, starring Naomi Watts.
Go on, Dave, say it.
I'm not doing fucking nothing. Apparently man can't do nothing right.
Well, you did your little intro beforehand. It was quite
I did.
good. I liked
I
it.
just don't want to offend anyone by proxy.
Well, no, I mean,
I went for a wee earlier. Oh, you can't say that, Japan. What?
I didn't think it was that offensive. I thought it was okay. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't
It's
racist.
Wilson, to be fair.
It wasn't racist.
Racist. I mean, it wasn't intentional. That was the...
It was said with love for the people of Japan. And that's the main thing.
What are we doing? Ringare.
I didn't know you were Jamaican. We're doing the 2002 remake of The Ring.
Justify this pick.
Okay.
Why you done picked it?
Because what happened in episode 50 was that Chris Wilson, to my left,
Hello.
smashed it out of the park,
Yeah, I did.
admittedly.
No redemption in that, Chris, man.
No. I think no matter how bad a pick you might make in the future, we can never demand a redemption arc out of you, because you can literally say, episode 50.
Oh, this is going to be so much shit I'm going to pick
Yeah.
over the next 50 episodes.
It's fine though, isn't it? Because, you know, he's made that canon now.
I pick the fly.
I'm going to watch you very closely and see how quickly your tune changes.
Me, my tune won't change.
What if you picked Prometheus?
I don't mind Prometheus, mate.
No?
It's shit.
Fucking hell.
I'm furious with my own choice.
Fucking bollocks.
What I'll say about Prometheus
Yeah.
is it's better than Covenant.
Yes, okay, and here are three other things for our listeners that are better than Covenant.
Please fire.
Which Japanese in it? Final Fantasy X-2.
10 to what? Nah.
Final Fantasy games are shit.
Nice.
Sorry.
So that bit where Goldberg came to the WWE and Goldust tried to put a wig on him.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I've run out of shit Japanese things. Sorry. The Kingdom Hearts series. That's Japanese. That's shit.
Ooh, I've got one.
Yep.
Yoshihashi. World New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Other Japanese things that I don't like.
Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, I don't think the weather's very good, is it?
Every Pokemon after the first 151.
That's a bit harsh.
No, I'm with him.
Yeah, but that's
You
it.
sure?
Well,
You don't need more than 151 Pokemon. Why would you?
why do you need a Pokemon that looks like a cow? And I think it's just called Cow.
There's one that looks like a coat rack. And that's its thing.
Fuck's sake.
What's it called? Hiya!
Just keeps hanging around, doesn't it?
Get me coat.
Special shout out to Digimon. Was always a fan.
Proud sponsor of the show.
There's another shit Japanese thing. Digimon.
Oh, now you see, he's deliberately just gone out to stab me in the back there, hasn't he?
And Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, is that Japanese? That shit.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
The actual Japanese versions, the ones that appeared on Cartoon Network, were more spliced up and a lot punchier. Whereas the literally episodes of the Japanese version, half an hour, they just stare at each other.
Yep.
Shouting at each other.
Yeah.
Charging up an energy ball.
I'm going to end you!
All right, okay.
I'll end you soon!
Your father was my best friend. I'm going to kill you.
Japanese furniture, specifically beds, not great for a man of my height.
Most Japanese things aren't wrong.
No, well, I've never actually been to Japan, so I am criticising them.
Have you been?
Point of
Have
reference.
you been to the Railway Museum in New York? I'm assuming you have at some point.
Many years ago,
Accidentally.
yeah, as a child.
Have you seen the bullet train?
No, not in person.
Right. I tried sitting down in one of them seats on the bullet train.
How was that for you?
Well, it put me off going to Japan for a bit longer.
Right, okay.
If that's going to be the transit situation.
Yeah, I
Can't
do
fit in that
worry.
chair.
I do worry about
Yeah.
my friend and yours, Connor, went to Japan on his honeymoon, but he's a very small man, so he wasn't really inconvenienced.
Yes.
He's in his words, he's 5'8.5".
My name is Connor and I'm 5'8.5" years old. That's quite sweet. I mean, I'm only 5'10". He's only an inch and a half short. I don't know what the thing is there.
That's true.
These short people, eh, Rob?
Yeah.
What did you pick again, sorry?
The Ring.
The Ring, yes. Excellent.
Before we move on to the film, I have got some Connor news, and I think I can say this safely because this episode will be going out in like October, won't it?
Yes.
Right. Connor and his lovely wife Steph are having a baby.
Oh my god. Really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Don't know, it's not going to be born until February. Even we're not that far ahead of the curve on our
I'm
recordings.
just trying to predict the future.
Dave.
I met Connor's baby the other day. It was so beautiful. 6'8".
Young Rudiger.
Oh,
Yeah. He's a lovely little boy. Cut to it being a girl. I hope so. Anyway, The Ring. 2002.
yes.
Context. So I started, before we went off on this mad narrative, of justifying myself for this decision, and I got as far as Wilson picked a really good film, and then we went from there. So
I did pick a good film.
Oh, you
though.
did? Yeah, you did, yeah. Cut to episode 307. Do you remember that time when I picked The Fly? It was fucking good. Anyway, so this week, I've picked Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. It's fucking shit.
Also, I'm not going to be in the recording because it's that shit.
Yeah. Bye. Fuck you and fuck you.
Walks off with his little telepod DVD collection.
Yeah, so I picked this just because I didn't want to take us from such a crescendo of brilliance to, like, total shit. I wanted to pick something that, like, in my opinion, may be proven wrong in the next hour, is quite a good film.
Okay. Yeah.
We shall see.
We shall see.
TBC. So things to note about The Ring. 1, I don't know what the Japanese for 1 is. Otherwise I would have said that. Do you know what the Japanese for 1 is?
Honor!
I'd like to apologise for to the people of Japan for Chris's outburst. It is out of character and not in line with his values.
No, I don't know what it is, sorry.
So thing 1 is it's directed by Gore Verbinski, this film.
He's very, yes,
Yeah.
interesting man.
Best known for making Pirates of the Caribbean films not very well, apart from the first one.
Lone Ranger. Not
Lone
very
Ranger
well.
very badly.
Apart from that last 20 minutes. No, last 20 minutes.
I didn't get that far.
Some of the best action cinema I've ever seen.
Right, how about the preceding 2 hours?
I usually just skip to the end now on
Right.
Blu-ray.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The post holes, the 7 people that went to see Gore Verbinski's Lone Ranger at the cinema.
Me, my mum, me dad.
Yeah.
Don't know who else it was.
Didn't have that option, did they? Bless them.
No, they were hype on it. They dragged me to see it.
Have you seen Golf Verbinski's? Don't.
No, why would I?
Fucking
Just
don't.
Life's too short.
Just watch the end of it on YouTube. There's a great video which is the whole sequence together, and then it's just the sequence with the music, and it's just, you think, yeah, that is actually incredible. The rest of the film, dog shit though.
Or you could carry on watching assorted moments of ridiculousness from the history of TNA wrestling like me and you were last night.
Yes, that's right.
We did watch the Fish Market Street fight where Bubba Ray Dudley got hit with a giant fish in the face.
Frozen fish?
Fresh.
Oh, so it was a good old slap.
Yeah.
Oh, giblets.
Ironically, he was hit with a fish by a wrestler called Shark Boy, which I thought was strong.
That is good.
Yeah. Anyhow, The Ring, 2002, directed by Golf Verbinski. Questionable output from him over the years.
Yeah.
I'm just going to dive into it, I think.
Yes.
That's it. That's my concept. The original was made in 1999. There you go. I've contextualised it.
So, first thing to note from me,
Yes.
my alternative reality wife, Naomi Watts, is starring in this.
Oh, do you like Naomi Watts in that way?
Goodness me.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I think it's because she was in Tank Girl. And I watched Tank Girl as a very... Because she was
that
Jet
her?
Girl. Yeah, black hair.
Oh, my
okay,
God.
yeah.
Jet fighter pilot, yeah.
Yeah.
And that had a very... That movie just did bizarre things to me as a 10-year-old. Maybe a 9-year-old even. But ever since, oh man. That's why I like King Kong. I don't think I actually like the film King Kong.
So is she in the newest one? Or,
Yeah, 2005.
Oh,
She's
right,
not
so
in
the
the...
Peter
She's
Jackson
not
one.
in Skull Island, yeah, she's in there.
I don't mind the Peter Jackson one.
It's alright. It's alright. It's got lovely moments. It's mostly Andy Serkis and Naomi Watts doing some wonderful stuff, and then Peter Jackson just trying to postpone The Hobbit.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable.
Yep.
So, I'm going to dive into it.
Yep.
The film opens... No, actually, no, I'm not. Sorry. I'm going to backtrack.
Okay.
Have you seen this film before, Wilson?
Yes, I have actually.
Okay.
It's a rare one for me, but yeah, I have seen it.
Right. Have you ever seen the original or any of the originals?
I think I've seen the original, but like the Fly last episode, I can't actually remember a thing about it.
Sure. Have you seen the original, Dave? And have you seen this remake before?
I've seen quite a lot of J-horror
Yeah.
about 10, 15 years ago when I was into Japanese stuff. I've never actually seen The Ring. I've seen
Right.
clips from it, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have seen this one before, like 10 years ago.
Cool. Cool. The relationship between the original and this film is quite strange in that it flip-flops between trying to be very, very respectful and accurate to the original, almost to a photographic degree. And then it just goes, no, fuck it now. Fuck it. I don't like this bit of the original. I'm just going to go off on an absolutely mad fucking tangent.
There are points in it where, especially jumping massively ahead, the cabin at the end, where it felt like a Japanese crew just stepped in.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, this is how we light it. This is how we light a sunset. This is how we do it.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like narrative wise, when you watch it through, you can probably tell which bits have been Americanized due to the sort of nature of the relationships and the scenes and the way things are presented. It jumps from being quite sort of Japanesey.
I did notice the first half was Japanese in pace.
Yeah.
It's sudden, and then there's like really long expanses of not much happening and just people staring at stuff and silence and
And it raining. Yeah.
raining a lot. Yeah, Kurosawa. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second half is it's just about as American as you can get, isn't it?
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, but
Precisely, yeah. Cool. So we open with the classic, and this is an Americanism, classic two teenage girls watching TV, telling horror stories, or ghost stories, I guess you could say.
Yeah. With just PAs off camera, just shoveling exposition on
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
While cradling a Scream DVD. Cause,
Yes.
yeah, this seems to be a thing that started with the Scream series of people who are sort of self-aware of horror and horror stories know about a lot,
Yeah.
who then become victims themselves.
Yeah. I don't remember this, because this is only the second time I've seen this. I saw it not long after it came out on DVD originally, and I really liked it. And I forgot this bit was in it. I must have deleted... Like, I thought it just started with... I don't know what I thought.
like a funeral or something.
No, I knew there was a scene, like a death scene, where the bit we get into later in this sequence. but I don't remember this TV bullshit chat right at the start.
Because the bullshit chat feels like it's just been banged in there
Yeah.
after a bad test screening or something.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing as that. What we were talking about when we did The Hills of Eyes.
Yeah.
With the weird bit at the start
It's
of
a
that.
preamble for just morons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's fucking rubbish, this opening bit.
it is.
Until the point when you get past the talk and there's the little bit of sort of creeping around the house, kind of establishing the TV static and bits and bobs like that. The fridge opening in the background. It's all of that's quite J horror. Again, it starts with the most, sorry listeners, contrived
So this is
American type opening you can go for, and then goes immediately the other way with like the J horror elements.
sure, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I kind of don't really know what to make of this like opening sequence as a whole, up to the point where it cuts to the funeral.
Yeah.
I don't know what you two thought of it.
Lazy.
I don't think it was needed. In fact, if anything, it took away a bit of the intrigue of later on, obviously, with Naomi Watts investigating why, she died. And then you think, well, we know why.
Yeah, it's almost like it. Yeah, you're right. It kind of, you feel like the characters are spending most of the rest of the film catching up with what you already know.
Yeah.
Which is
You've got a very nice setup for almost like a noir detective sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what the first half seems to go for. But obviously you've been given everything on a plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she catches up after about 20 minutes, and then she's looking for motive rather than what it actually was.
Yeah.
Whereas you want to kind of, okay, what actually did happen, rather than, okay, why is the ghost doing it? You don't want to just take that fucking jump straight away.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it is a ghost, but why?
Yeah, exactly. And this kind of establishes a few of the issues I had with the film watching it this time, which is there's some things, narrative-wise and character-wise, in this film that do not need to be there at all.
There's whole characters that don't need to be there.
Yes, which brings me nicely onto the scene where we meet Amy Watts and her little boy, who does not need to be there.
Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts, what did I say?
Amy Watts.
Oh, sorry. Naomi Watts.
Yeah.
And her son, who does not need to be there.
And of course, in my alternate reality where we're married, that is how she walks around the house.
Right, fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. So we meet her picking up her son Aidan from school. We get like sort of kind of Poundland Damien vibes off him initially. But my opening gambit is, as I've said, if you think about the narrative throughout the film and what happens within the plot, I don't think this child needs to be in this film at all.
No.
It's
It's one of these blank-eyed, if you hit me at 30 power clip kids.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
It commits straight away in this scene one of my cardinal sins, which is someone ignoring something that someone is trying to tell them to then achieve a dramatic effect 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
Fuck off with that shit. Or I need to tell you something about these pictures he's drawing. Yeah, we're really busy, we gotta go. Alright, yeah, whatever, got the tea on. Oh no, I really need to tell you something. No, I've gotta go. He was drawing these pictures last week. Boom.
Yeah.
Listen, I appreciate your concern, but my son lost his best friend 3 nights ago. He's just trying to deal with it.
Yes, I understand, but these pictures
Or Aiden's way of working it out, of expressing himself, like you said. He'll be okay.
You say she died 3 nights ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Aiden drew these last week.
Thank you for labouring that
Yeah.
as much as you could.
Exactly. And it's like, yeah, she was completely not asked until she finds out that he was drawing them before.
That boy incident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was his cousin dying.
Yeah. So we kind of like we're only sort of 15 minutes into the film.
Yep.
10, if that.
10.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of information thrown at us all at once here.
Yeah.
And I would argue a lot of this really isn't necessary. I mean, you need to make a connection between Rachel. You need to make a connection between Rachel and the girl who dies at the start.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to do, because that connection then drives her on through the film.
Yeah.
So you don't need the kid. The kid's really irrelevant, apart from the fact like there's this sort of side narrative with him that doesn't really go anywhere particularly.
Has he got a ghost friend? Has he not got a ghost friend? Can he see ghosts? Is that his thing? I don't know.
Oh, I thought his side story was, will he blink at any point? Will he? Willie?
Willie?
Right? Willie.
I don't think he blinks. He doesn't. Clearly not.
No, I didn't see him blink.
No.
Didn't
Not once.
happen, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that child grew up to be Dave's puppet over there.
Oh, God.
Looks a lot like that fucking puppet. So, after this school scene, we waz off to Katie's wake. And Rachel finds out that Katie's friend Becca, who's in the scene with her at the start, has been thrown in a mental hospital.
Yep.
And we get this information from Adam Brody from the OC, who's sat in the back garden, smoking, posturing, and giving a little bit of plot development.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was also a bit where Katie's mum asked Rachel to investigate the case because apparently she's been on a computer for a few hours.
I was Googling it for 4 hours.
Googling for 4 hours and they'd never heard of any 14-year-old dying of
Heart attack.
Yeah.
So I paused the film and I had a look at how many results there were.
Yeah.
Subtracting the ring, bear in mind, 587,000 results. Google better next time.
Yeah. The keyword search has gone wrong for you there.
Yeah.
Were you on Ask Jeeves?
About to say they use Ask Jeeves.
Now I've got a Yahoo toolbar I can't get rid of. Fucked it.
So we get... It's just not necessary.
I'm going to put some fucking... He does it every night around this time, and he goes around a little circuit. I'm going to put some fucking fishing wire across some lampposts.
You need to get a sniper rifle, is what you need to do. Pick him off through that window.
That might be a little bit harder, but I've got a 3D printer now.
Oh, yeah,
So I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's cute.
That's cool.
Adam Brody from the OC tells us all, and Naomi Watts, that the tape killed her, and also that Katie's secret BF boyfriend,
what I mean?
Josh, is also dead. He's doing a loop. Is this like every night this time?
Yeah.
What time is this? It's fucking 11:05.
Yeah.
If that was on a school night when I was at work next, I'd be boiling. Wouldn't you be raging?
Yeah. While he's making that noise, I can finally adjust my chair.
Oh, just your chair, please. Adjust away.
Ah, that's better. My chair's squeaky so badly. It's still picking me up from here.
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yeah.
Good, okay, that'll do.
Would you like some meta trivia?
Yes, please. Always.
Okay. So if you were lucky enough to be as old as we are, and you got The Ring on VHS, the original release, the X rental, and the first home movie release,
Yep.
the tape would be always 2 minutes in when you got it.
Oh, yeah.
So it was factory wound with it was 2 minutes in.
Yep.
I mean, if you rewound it all the way back, so the first time you watch it, you wouldn't see anything.
Yeah.
But after you'd rewound it all the way back, you would get those 2 minutes, and it was the full uncut version of the tape from the film.
That's quite nice.
That is nifty, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And I think there's something you can do on the first DVD pass release as well, which is if you find a hidden icon on one of the menus, it takes you to another menu, and you solve a little puzzle thing, and then it plays the video again, but it completely kills your remote, so you can't pause it, skip it, go back to the menu.
It's quite nifty, isn't it? It is on there as an extra, the video, but
Yeah.
it's a different thing, yeah.
But once you've watched the video, then it plays, if you've got surround sound especially, it plays a phone in the back left speaker after you've watched it.
It's quite good, isn't
How
it?
fun is that? That is cheeky.
That is nifty, I like it. Big fan of that. Good fact.
Do continue, Rob.
Okie dokie.
I won't do it again.
No, please. So Adam Brody from the OC finishes his diatribe.
Yeah.
That was the chair.
I thought you trumped.
No, that was the chair.
Okay, right.
Sorry.
He finishes diatribe, and then we get a little scene of weird little Aiden walking around and being weird.
And not blinking some more.
Not blinking some more. Offering nothing.
Offering nothing.
Literally nothing.
Well, all he does is lead Rachel to the room
Yeah.
to see the folder full of magazines with her faces scrubbed out in it.
Yeah.
But, you know, she could just gone in there anyway to go, well, I'm investigating the case.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about ever look in this folder? Oh, that's a bit weird. Maybe she's got some self-image issues.
Maybe's. This fucking kid. The thing about this kid is, and sorry for this, Dave, because it's going to go over your head because I'm going to use a football analogy now. He is...
Offside.
Yes, good. That's exactly what I was going to say. He is Forest Green Rovers. By that, I mean he's a waste of a place in the Football League.
I'd go Salford City because at least he's not vegan. Obviously, I don't think he's vegan.
Well, possible. Google it later. He'll come to you.
Yeah.
You probably won't. It's fine.
Handball.
So Rachel finds, as a mooch around the house while the wake's going on downstairs, and she finds that all the faces have been rubbed out of Katie's album.
Or have they had hair drawn on them?
Oh,
That's what it's supposed to be.
oh, is it?
You know what? I never even considered that.
No, I didn't
Because
either.
I thought she just scribbled them out, but it's all vertical lines. It's the
Right.
hair, it's the look of the girl, isn't it?
Oh, well, that's perceptive from you. I would say also something that maybe could have been rendered better.
Well, yeah.
You mean like a finer, like, biro? Like nice squiggly hair.
Yeah.
So it looks like everyone's got a perm, but it's quite curly hair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think if they just maybe used a finer pen,
Yeah.
like
Well,
a Bic.
This is so everyone look like you rude a gullet.
Yeah, good reference. Circa 1997. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, thanks, Dave. That makes sense now.
That's all right. Fucking self-image.
I'm thinking in 2019 terms, okay? It's a big issue these days.
Well, I'm a little bit blown away by that.
Speaking of which. You all right?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just getting to the next bit. I was hoping someone would jump in, but I didn't.
Sorry, I need you water.
I'm just putting chewing gum in. Does anyone want a chewing gum?
Well, I'll have a twanger.
Go on. So when she's looking through the photos that have hair drawn on them, now I know that, she finds a ticket for a photo printing place
That's it.
where some, presumably,
Photos.
some photos have been put in for development. It's been so long since this was a thing, I actually don't know how to describe it anymore.
They've been... Oh, neither bloody hell, I've forgotten as well. They've been sent off to developed.
Yeah.
They've been processed through, ready to be picked up.
Yep, they've gone to Snappy Snaps, and George Michael's going to give her a lift to pick them up.
And this is one where you don't have to just wait an hour for your photos. It's quite clearly at least 48-hour job going on here.
Yeah, maybe a couple of weeks, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you know on the pecking order. It's not 1 hour photo of Robin Williams.
No.
God, I completely forgot that whole, world existed. It's
That
amazing what
process.
happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Rachel goes to pick up these photos and she has a look through, and all the photos are from these kids' vacation to Shelter Mountain Inn. And on a few of the photos as well, like the faces are all warped out
Yeah.
and such.
It's like she's going through them chronologically, so they're all having fun. And then there's a point where you're supposed to suspect they've watched the video,
Yeah.
and then their face is dumb fucked.
Yeah.
They get that little filter that you can get on your iMac or whatever it is.
Yeah, they all look like they've been through a Chris Cunningham music video, basically.
Damn, I was going to make that reference.
Sorry, right. It's my bad.
And she also, by looking through newspaper reports and such, and then calling up about Katie afterwards, that they've all died at exactly 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, the exact same time. Super spooky.
Yeah. So
That is super spooky. So I'll give you a little ghost noise there, Rob.
Thank you.
yeah, but
That'd
that's
be nice.
it.
I'd
You
like
sound
those sound
yeah,
effects.
that's spooky. Yep. Moving on.
Stop haunting me.
That was uncanny.
Is Casper here?
Yeah.
So off they go to Shelter Mountain Inn.
The cabin in the woods, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And with the crap magician at the reception.
Yes.
I don't know why this guy's here, but you know.
This scene's fucking weird and quite contrived. Sorry.
Sorry.
The action that takes place here, where she's talking to the weird fucking magic dude, And then she turns around and looks at the VHS shelf, and she sees across the room one blank VHS tape. Could be anything. It could be fucking
Football highlights.
match of the day. Could be anything. But she gravitates towards this tape and pockets it
Yeah.
for viewing later. Hope it's not porn, otherwise some of Dave's fantasies are really going to start coming true if Naomi Watts is involved in that sequence.
Please don't.
Just did.
Good thing there's a massive microphone stand there to hide it all.
That's not a microphone stand.
Oh, shit.
His microphone's levitated.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so Kel Surprise, it is the tape, and she watches the tape.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to just pause for thought a second. Thank you. I just want to... I quite like this location and the design of it, and you touched upon it earlier. It does feel like a different crew shot these sequences, and especially the ones later on. There are moments in this film where the cinematography is quite... it's quite interesting, and it's quite sort of...
There's some stuff with a ladder later on that stands out as well. Just
there's
some wow moments.
Yeah, there's some really strong sort of imagery in the film. And while we're here at this scene where some of this imagery is present, I just wondered what we all thought of it. Did we find it jarring?
Are we talking about the tape itself?
No, sorry, we're talking about the way this scene is shot, the stuff at the cabin is shot, versus the rest of the film, because the rest of the film's very blue, it's very rainy, and it's very grim, and it's very J-horror. Whereas this kind of it has different aspects of J-horror in it, but it's quite not vibrant, but the colour palette's very, very different, and there's two ways to interpret that, maybe.
I noticed it a lot later on in the film. When they discover where the well is, how that was shot with lots of like yellow and pink and all that lot. I don't think I noticed it as much here though.
No, I don't recall it at all, but if you say it's there, it's there.
It's kind of... It is much more...
Is it kind of hazy? Autumnal, maybe?
Yeah, there's
that.
There's a sort of more autumnal, almost warmer hue to it, and it is quite at odds with the rest of the film, and I think it kind of does set up what happens later. I like it. I just wondered if you guys, if it bothered you guys at all, or if you...
Not really. I mean, I understand the anchor point that they're placing for later on, but these are two completely different cabins, and I get that like one is the video and one is the well, and they're both linked in that way, but at the same time it is visually jarring.
Cool.
But I like the look of it. Like, I'm not...
No, that's all. I was just curious. And I guess it's a good time to talk about the video itself. This is the first time we see it. It reminded me a lot, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of the Key Brothers short films.
Right.
And this comes in later as well. They reference Key Brothers quite a lot in this film. There's a scene later on where screws come up out of the floor, like when they discover the well.
Right.
And that's like a thing in Key Brothers films, and they use a lot of sort of fucked up visuals, and like the burning tree is very them, and the bit with the nails is very them, like the nail goes through someone's finger. That's all very Key Brothers, and it's quite abstract. And the first time I watched this, it shit me up, this video. Passage of time, and I've been watching things since, but I still find it to be very effective. What were your thoughts?
It reminded me a lot of... There's a couple of like films by Salvador Dali from like the 1920s, and I assume that must be a reference point, the way it's edited, like the imagery. I mean, it's all surrealist, meant to look like nonsense, but it's not. So it reminded me a lot of that sort of stuff.
It's like, you'll have to excuse my pronunciation, because as you know it's terrible, but I think one of them films is called Un Chien Andalou.
That's the one, the one where they slit the eyeball, and that is like, for me, the worst thing I've ever seen on film. As in worst, as in ugh.
It's really effective.
It
has a power to it, I think.
I'll be honest, I wasn't sold on it.
Really? Okay, cool.
There's some stuff that I'm sold on. It's like when the woman's in the mirror and she's looking at you and then she turns around.
Yeah.
Little personal moments like that I thought were great. But I couldn't get past the fact she was watching a grimy old tape in Midwest American cabins.
Yeah.
And it's blatantly top-end CGI in there.
Sure. Yeah.
with the ladder falling down. And stuff
Like the vistas with the lighthouse and stuff that gets revealed later, and the ladders falling down was pretty much like A-level 3DS Max work, which again, make it as rustic as you want, like, but the problem, what I want to see is something that feels like it was recorded onto that tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through conventional means, and what can be on there can essentially be the same content, but like it needs to suit its medium better, and it needs to feel less polished.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want it to feel like the Blair Witch Project. It needs to feel less like a production house made it.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean, because like later on when we sort of get to know about Tape's origins and such, it makes it look like that person responsible for it like spent 3 years doing a bloody media production sort of degree. Yeah.
There's moments you can get, like if you just had like a Super 8 camera, mini VHS, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You could have just shot the back of a woman looking into a mirror. You could have done all those shots, and they would have been obscured by the medium and the camera used. And I think it would have been more effective and more obscure. Maybe as every time the tape gets watched, you reveal a little bit more. It gets cleaned up. It cleans itself up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So straight after he watches the tape, the phone rings and a voice says 7 days down the phone.
Mm-hmm.
From this point onwards, it pisses it down all the time for the rest of the film.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously this film has a...
It's like an August in England.
It is, yeah. But this is a thing in J-horror as well, and also specifically in this film, obviously there is a relationship with water.
Yes.
Throughout.
The thing the Japanese do with rain is they make it rain at poignant moments.
Yeah.
If you watch a Kurosawa film, like a bunch of dudes will be just stood in a cabin, and then they'll announce one of them dies. One of them has died like a week previous. Then it will start raining.
Yeah.
So it's
Hollywood does that quite a lot though as well. Like when things suddenly get very like sad or something dramatic happens, it's like
yeah, I suppose so. But this goes constant. It worked in Seven and stuff like that. I mean, I don't have a problem with this. It just feels like if they'd gone for the Japanese angle, they should have gone more poetic with it to a degree.
Sure. Speaking of wet, we meet Noah next, who is
a crack dealer based on what all of his fucking gear is.
Yeah, I mean, he's Rachel's sort of implied immediately ex with some kind of connection to.
Yeah.
There's a weird moment where weird little Aiden walks past him on the street as he's going in.
Yeah.
And they have like a weird sort of like, I kind of know you, but I kind of don't situation.
Yeah.
I didn't get this until the really clunky line dialogue later on.
Right.
That there was even a thing.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because they have an argument at one point, but I didn't even click on that.
Not even when that bird from CSI comes in and she gets all well gel.
No, I didn't.
Really?
I thought she was getting well gel because she had the hots for him, and this was like the first time, if you know what I mean.
All right, okay, yeah.
So, you been working a lot?
I'm not tired, Noah.
Okay.
That tape didn't scare you?
No, not really. Sorry.
4 people are dead.
Yeah, but like I said, not from
4
watching
people who watched it.
Come on, we watched it. We're hanging.
It takes a week.
Right. I'm just gonna go downtown. I gotta pick up some cameras from this guy, and then I gotta prep this thing that I may not do next week.
Noah, would you say that I'm gullible?
No,
Easily rattled?
definitely not. Well, you're a little highly strung, maybe. You ain't much of a dresser.
Who made it? Where'd it come from?
All right. Make me a copy. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks.
No, but I just didn't get that whatsoever.
Right.
Which is odd, obviously.
Yeah, I can kind of see that because it's not particularly well signposted until it's really signposted, but it is implied, but quite... It's weird, like it's implied quite gently, and then it's like, right, sit down. We understand that we might have been a little bit overly creative with this, so here's the thing. He's that kid's dad, their ex-lovers. That's the sitch. Sorry we weren't clear about that earlier. It's basically what happens.
Yeah.
Just to make it more confusing, the kid uses the first names for both of them.
Yeah, why? I hate that shit. In life and films, I hate that shit.
I mean, I did it with my mum and dad. But, like, I didn't do it to make the plot more awkward.
No, exactly. But it's unnecessary convolution.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of, like, need things like that to be fairly clear. You know.
I was thinking, Naomi Watts is the older sister and their parents died. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Wait,
I mean...
No, okay, she's his mum. Okay.
I assumed that he was like an adopted child for quite a while. Anyhow, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we meet Wet Noah. And it was a bit of a fucking drip, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Hey.
Thank you. That was accidental that time. That was sadly accidental. He takes
a shower of shite.
Ah, yes, good. Strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
Nice.
He takes Rachel's picture and she's all blurry as well.
Yep.
He watches the tape himself, yeah. Thought, this sounds like fun, I'll watch it myself.
Now, I don't understand the logic at play here.
Fuck this.
There is none.
Because she believes that something supernatural or weird has happened to her niece, hence her doing the investigation.
Yeah.
She watches the tape and she gets a call. It says 7 days, and she knows that something happened at that lodge 7 days before they were killed.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she would show anyone else that tape under any condition.
No, because she does kind of show him it. It's not him.
Yeah. It's not him snatching it off her. No.
Watch this for a laugh.
I don't think she probably understands fully what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
At that moment.
Yeah.
I think with an extra day's worth of information, so yeah, she probably should have waited. Say with that information, we would have probably gone, nah, best not watch it. Bit of a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's the worst film to watch since The Exorcist 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as Exorcist 2, is it?
No, this one you actually die from watching it. No, it's still better than Exorcist 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all died inside when we watched Exorcist 2, which is worse.
In all fairness.
It's existential suffering.
She should put the video on YouTube.
Right.
And eventually, the ring girl, Samara, is going to get to someone who ain't going to take no shit.
Yeah.
Like, or screen it to a load of 500-pound gorillas. It's like, go on then, chomp on them, you little shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a dead girl in there. Yeah, gorillas have had her. Sorted her out.
There's a girl in the garden.
I've actually literally written in the...
Show it to gorillas.
No, YouTube. I think there's potential... They might have done it. I've not watched the Ring series. So what if we put a video on YouTube? What happens then?
Yeah.
There is, in the most recent film in this series...
Is this Rings?
Rings, which came out last year. I watched it on Netflix.
Is this Americano, see?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did a little tweet along on our Twitter when I watched it. There's one really good sequence at the start of the film that's quite interesting, and the rest of it's absolute horseshit. Basically, there's a scene where someone's on a plane, and they're talking to the partner about how they saw this film this amount of time ago, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And the Ring video comes on the backs of everyone's seats in this plane, and basically it just sends the plane down.
Oh, that's a nifty idea.
To get at the person that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if it's to the minute, and they happen to be on a flight exactly after that time, it's just like a scorched earth approach.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the film happens. That's literally like the equivalent of the two girls at the start of this, like the pre-credit thing, and it's just fucking shit after that.
Okay.
It's like a sort of half-hearted attempt to remake this film after that.
Has it got Naomi Watts?
No.
I'm out.
Nope. Done.
Finn.
The other thing to note here is they make a copy. Fucking idiots.
Yes, she makes a copy, doesn't she?
Why would you do that?
This logic can go fuck itself as well.
Yeah.
This comes around back at the end, and I'm like, no, shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah. I mean, what I will flag here is that is canon from the Japanese one as well.
It's canon from the Japanese one, but somebody explain it to me.
Oh, yeah. There's no reason for her to make a copy of it.
No.
Why would you?
No, as in like how the copy affects the actual effects of the curse.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can answer that.
Can you?
Yeah, because it's explained in quite a bit of detail in the Japanese one and alluded to in this one.
Okay.
Basically, it's alluded to in this a lot of the flashback sequences with Samara that she wants to be heard.
Right.
And so, in order to counter the curse, the person who is cursed, if they help spread her word,
Right.
then the curse is dropped from them. And that is the governing reason for its existence in the Japanese one.
But Noah makes the copy.
Yep.
Noah, spoiler, gets the tag.
Well, it doesn't make the copy, she makes the copy.
I thought he made the copy.
No, she made the copy.
she
I
makes
think
it.
that's fine then.
Yeah. No, she makes the
the
copy.
Oh, my goodness.
So yeah, that's basically the implication of it is that all she wanted to be was to be heard, which is what's referenced quite a few times in the film.
Okay.
And that's the kernel, and in the Japanese one as well, as to if you spread her message, i.e. make a copy or put it on YouTube, the curse moves on from you. I guess it's a bit like Final Destination. It's like you pass it to someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's the rationale behind that, but it is a bit contrived the way she decides to do it.
Once again.
Because if you went armed with that information, why would you make a copy of it?
Pretty much.
I don't know. What happens again, Willie? Next, I've lost myself.
So the next day, Noah goes through some bollocks about the number tracker on the video.
Oh yeah, the fucking little wet drippy nerd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Some incorrect facts.
yeah, apparently there's like numbers attached to all individual recordings, and there's not Noah. That's just not true.
No.
It's just bollocks.
Is it not just a running time of the tape? Is
Yeah.
that not all it is?
It's the
Essentially?
time of the tape. Fucking marker of what machine did it, where it came from.
hell.
Fuck off, no.
No.
Really?
Do you think it's a device as fragile and as easy to fucking ruin as a cassette tape has that kind of like intricate system behind it?
Yes, I absolutely do not believe well-renowned manufacturers such as Sanyo in 2002 with their line of fucking Britney Spears silver matte highlight bullshit tape cassette things. They're not putting that in there.
No, it's fucking
fucking
bollocks. Is what it is.
Then Noah's assistant shows up,
Oh yeah.
which makes Rachel very jealous, and Rachel and Noah have an argument. But yeah, I still didn't twig on they were actually a thing once upon a time.
See, if you're like me, you can't believe it. You can't believe Naomi Watts would be with that prick.
Stoop so low,
Yeah.
Should have been you. Right, so next up, day 3, I believe.
Yes.
Rachel.
All of these are bookmarked, by the way. They're I'm not telling you. I'm telling the peoples that we get a little counter.
They
every
say
time
what
there's-
day it is.
They say what day it is. Yeah.
It's really handy when you're making notes on the film you're going to be talking about on the podcast, though. It's helpful.
So much easier.
Yeah,
Just
loads
the clock
easier.
in the corner would be
Yeah,
better.
fantastic. Rachel visits Becca in the mental hospital to ask her about Katie's death.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becca knows Rachel has seen the video by Spooky Means.
And says she will show you 4 days.
This whole thing's a bit like a Bray Wyatt gimmick, isn't it? Like,
Yep.
for a wrestling reference.
Is a bit, yeah. Pretty much.
The thing is, I'm getting pretty down here, guys, because like I watched this and I thought, that was quite enjoyable actually, and now I'm actually talking about it. It's like I'm not enjoying it as much.
It's something that is just on, and you're watching it. The moment you start to pick it apart, you think, "Fuck, that was that 3 hours long?
Yeah.
that was very long.
Like,
Was that 2 films?
I actually really enjoyed it when I watched it on my Todski,
Same. Yeah.
but now we're here digesting it.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying
I
it.
guess we're all just in a grumpy mood.
Maybe so. It's late, isn't it?
I'm not. I'm talking about Naomi Watts.
That's true. Dave, Naomi Watts is in this film.
She is.
There he is.
There we go. There we go.
he is. There he is.
Boner.
Down a well, is she?
Anyway, Rachel goes to another videotape place because she's very mad at Noah. So decides to go one that looks like fucking 1970s somewhere.
It's like an old
Bond.
It's like an old BBC post-production suite. I don't understand how she has access to all these facilities.
No, I don't. Well, she's a journalist. She can
Oh,
go
yeah.
doing journalist things. They just let her in anywhere.
Yeah.
So she's looking like on one of those old school monitors, of a tape, and she realises when rewinding it that it reveals more of the image behind the lighthouse.
Yeah.
So she starts rewinding it as fast as she can in a still image somehow.
Well, that's it. Well, it's tape warping, isn't it? So you're literally moving the frames.
Sorry, yeah, I mean the tracker.
Yeah,
like
the tracker.
The actual tracking, you can
Tracking's touchy, mate.
You can move it across. Apparently, probably again.
Yeah, I think
not true.
Yeah, it feels like bollocks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But one thing in the scene that I did really like is on the tape there's a bit where there's like a fly on the camera.
Oh, yeah.
And she picks it off the screen and it's like an actual fly.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really nice touch, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That was quite cool. Yeah, I sort of like this idea as well of like tracking it across and revealing a new image. Just I think we all know from our backgrounds it's just a bit bollocks.
Yeah,
really.
it is, but it is a neat idea, isn't
It's a
it?
nice bit of spookiness.
Yeah.
You can imagine, people after watching this going home with VHS players.
Just popping the top open and just leaning on the rails a bit.
It'll look like putting like Spice World on VHS in there and try like see if there's any image past like Mel C or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and her nosebleeds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. From rewinding too intensely.
Yeah, exactly. She was focusing that intensely. And she was like, it's like, I'm really heavy on the wrestling references this week, I'm really sorry. It's like, whenever Goldberg comes back to the WWE now, he just starts bleeding for no reason from the head. Like, you remember when he came back on Raw, like the first time he came back, and he walks out, and he literally not even touched his head, and it was just bleeding.
Yeah.
Apparently it's because he headbutted a locker in the back before he came out.
Yeah, no cameras on him or out, just like dunk.
Yeah, it's just, anyway, unnecessary bleeding for no reason.
Yep.
Day 4.
Sunday.
I think it's nice that they give you, both day 4 and what day of the week it is.
It is, yeah.
It's nice to know where you are.
It's a solid countdown, isn't it? It's just a shame day 7 is an hour long.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Day 4, Sunday, like you say, I thought, right, maybe she'll go for a Sunday roast,
Yeah, Sunday fun day.
Sunday fun day.
Yeah.
Super Sunday, Sky Sports, Jeff and the boys in the studio.
Exactly. Yeah.
Standard Sunday.
Yeah. A watch bit heartbeat at the end of the day. You get really sad because she has to go back to work in the morning. Job's a good one.
So, yeah.
Just from hearing the heartbeat music alone.
So,
But you're like, shit.
clip.
Oh.
Now, I'm really glad you said the Sunday bit, because...
Oh, you say heartbeat, man.
No, because it's actually... Do you know what? It's actually really important. Because... Basically, what happens here is she finds out through doing some research that the lighthouse is on
Moscow Island.
Moscow Island,
Yeah.
and she does some research on the woman in the picture, Anna Morgan. She finds out who she is. She finds out that Anna killed herself, and when she looks down at the newspaper she's been researching in the library, she's scrubbing out her face, and it's all a bit weird. Do you know what the problem with this is? Libraries don't open on Sundays.
Shit.
No, they don't, do they?
We've just fallen into a plot hole there, is what we've done.
Absolutely, that's the film completely derailed, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Done.
Think about it, guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
New redemption arc now, Bob. We can't have libraries open on Sundays. Can we?
Don't you know you can't wear white after Labor Day? Yeah, it's just fucking page 1. It's like the stuff with the fucking numbers and the fucking thing that you pointed out about image stretching. Like, you can get away with it once or twice.
But you can't have a library open on Sunday.
Well, no.
Fucking hell.
Not if you're going to put day 4 Sunday.
Yeah.
You need to think about things a bit more than
Someone
that.
in the script would have put day 4 Sunday, scene such and such, library.
Yeah.
And that's just passed through a load of people.
Yeah, it was passed through everyone.
Yeah.
But not us boys.
No.
Excuse me. What's the matter? Library, Sunday. Sort it.
Think about it. So next it's day 5.
Monday.
You can take day 5, Willie.
Okie dokie.
I'm exhausted from Sunday. It was
There was a lot happening on Sunday. Now there's recycling's getting taken and she's not putting the bins out.
Yeah.
You're full of roast beef and suddenly the library's open on a Sunday.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolute shithouses.
I just choked. Sorry, I just choked on my chewing gum. Carry on.
So Monday, Noah is in a Chinese supermarket from the looks of it.
Of course he is.
And he looks above him at CCTV and see that his face is all blurry, just like Naomi Watts' was before when demonstrating the old camera thing.
Yes.
Yep. And the Chinese lady behind the counter says you're going to die, you know, and he's like...
But she's like, eventually, yeah,
From
we all die eventually.
Yeah.
No, great, thanks for that.
Brilliant.
Finally, we go back to Aidan as well, who's just gone missing for the last 4 days.
Because he's not that important.
No,
Who's Aidan again? Is that
the kid,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
And this time, his eyes are closed, which I guess technically counts as blinking, so at least that completes that arc. That's one thing at least.
Wrap that up.
And Rachel appears back from work and she's already trying to fob her kid off to someone else for a couple of days so she can go to Moscow Island.
Yep.
During a phone call with, I assume it's like her mum or something, she starts coughing up bits of hair.
Now, I mean, I quite like this little scene.
Naomi Watts coughing up dreadlocks, am I right?
Yeah, well, she just pulls this in an alternative reality. Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's quite fucking weird and creepy.
It's pretty grim.
Yeah, and it's grim. You know,
It is bokeh material.
it is bokeh material, and it's quite good imagery as well.
It is, yeah. And there's like blood coming out the phone as well, and
Yeah,
it's all really good. And she goes upstairs looking for Aidan, and then there's a creepy girl with long black hair sat in a chair, you know, facing away with like water all around it.
yep.
But it's all just a dream. Except there's a handprint on her arm,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
which doesn't really play to anything, really. The whole handprint thing. It's not like... Is it like her Freddy Krueger style ability was he like, as his finger claws scrape at people, she just like gently grabs them. Or maybe she does like an Indian burn.
I think
Maybe
it's
that's her special move.
Can't call it Indian burn in 2019. It's a Chinese burn, mate.
yeah. I think it
Asian burn.
It doesn't really work, but I think the point of it is to try and develop the idea that that started with the bit with the fly in the TV screen. Really,
yeah.
is that the realities of the tape and Samara are bleeding into
It's
their
a real
world.
threat, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's developing, and those worlds are bleeding more together the closer they get to day 7.
Right, yeah.
It's a bit cack-handed.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
What shits me up about this arm print on her arm is that she goes back to this well literally 5 or 6 times. The film will grind to a halt and she'll just go,
Was that pun intended?
what did I say?
Goes back to this well.
No, it wasn't, sorry. Go me.
Damn.
But like, when they're in the attic in the barn where Samara's supposed to have lived, she's like, she looks at her arm again, like it's a new thing, or like it's supposed to mean something different now. It's like, no, that's the same mark as before, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's the... Okay, we've got this information, though.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of... I think they kind of... It's weird, this film, because it flips between being very vague about certain things, like the relationship between the kid and his parents and their relationship, which, as you pointed out, Wilson's not the easiest thing to pick up on. It sort of flip-flops between being quite vague about some things like that and then very, like, on the nose and repetitiously so about other things.
Just to keep reminding you,
Yeah.
in case you're not paying attention.
But I would say being reminded of the nature of them 3 main characters' relationship with each other is more important than being reminded about that. It's a very strange set of priorities.
Yeah. So, Rachel wakes up from her dream and goes downstairs to discover that Aidan's watching the videotape. The stupid twat.
Because he's a little shitbag.
Yeah. If I was his parent, I'd just like arms folded, be like, "Good, you deserve that."
Yeah, now sit here for the next 7 days and think about it. Yeah.
And at the same time as well, like Noah calls up, like saying, like, "I believe you about this whole thing."
Yeah.
And this is where we finally get the thing. He's watched the tape. Who? Your son! Like, oh, it's his son. Right, okay, now I get it.
And the phone did a couple of bells, didn't it? But then there's one answer. There's one message on the answer machine.
Yeah, which he deletes.
Yeah.
Which he deletes, and it's obviously
7 days.
that little piece of shit.
Yeah.
Chatting shit down the phone again.
Yeah.
It's either that or the fucking milkman ringing to make sure she wants to renew her order for another year or something.
Really, really dramatic moment after they watch the tape. Hello? Hello, sir. I'm calling from Microsoft to offer you a refund from your antivirus software. You need to go and get me a gift card. Oh no, I paid you $12,000.
Hello, I'm ringing about the accident you've had.
We had an accident that wasn't your fault.
Can refund you in 7 days.
Hi Rachel, yeah, this is Pete from NordVPN.
Fucking hell.
Day 6.
Tuesday.
So if she'd had a fucking VPN on her phone, that little shit would have been trying to call all night and getting redirected around the planet.
Ooh, can I ask you a question? You know, I'm thick at technology. I'm like a 70-year-old man.
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
You had to get the Skyman to install your PS2 after you put the Skybox in. You had to go on the phone to your mum. Make sure he plugs PS2 back in. No, don't want to do it. Make sure he plugs. Don't let him leave without plugging it back in. I'm just in the kitchen, just trying to fucking make a cup of tea, but I can't.
Wait.
I just I'll
Did
be
this
honest.
actually happen?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Right, I'm going to level with you guys. I probably can do this shit, but I literally do not want to. Ever.
That's fine, mate.
Yeah,
Do you know
that's
what I mean? It's like some people have no interest in playing cricket, for example. I have no interest in doing anything with technology or the setting up of technology ever.
So are you going to call the Skyman out to play cricket for you as well?
Well, the problem is my Skybox is on the blink, and the card is in it, the viewing card, but it keeps saying insert viewing card, so now I'm going to have to actually vag about with it myself, which is a problem.
Just clean the brass contacts with a bit of...
Yeah, I'll do it on Monday. I'll do it on a night.
Yeah? Do it on the...
It'll be fun. This is the night.
What were you going to say?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. What does VPN stand for?
Virtual Private Network.
Virtual Private Network. Yeah.
Thank you. You see, look, every day is a school day. Day 6.
Tuesday.
Aidan finds out Noah is his father.
What the fuck? Yeah, sorry, kid. You're a twat. Yeah, I know.
Doesn't really speak much, does he? He just sort of goes, if you hit me at 30 miles an hour. And then they think, fuck it, Naomi Watts thinks, fuck it, I'm going to go to Moesco Island.
Yep.
Which she does.
There's a weird narration where they go, yeah, this whole thing, something to do with horses.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the car and she's actually reading something out. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's just when she's on the ferry.
Just before the ferry, they're driving through all that beautiful
right,
Midwest,
yeah.
Pineland and...
The ferry scene is nice. I quite liked this.
Ferry scene is nice, but... what?
Go on. You can't just put your balls on the table and then not continue.
No. I think it's really nice. It's beautiful to look at. I don't get it.
Well, it's the reason it exists. I mean, we find out later, don't we? But basically, it's Samara hated fucking horses because they kept her up at night. Hence
And
why
it's
she
the
hated
idea
the
that
barn.
there's a bit of Samara and Naomi Watts, and that's freaking
Because she's
the whole
watched the
set.
tape.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, okay.
So what you're saying is Samara didn't subscribe to I Love Horses magazine.
Yeah, that's
Horse and
correct.
Hound. Yeah,
Horse
yeah.
and Hound.
No, there was an actual magazine called I Love Horses.
Really?
Brilliant.
Yeah, splice him in jingle here. It exists, trust me.
That's one
Did
for you
you
to
do it-
look, enjoy in the edit, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Do you want to know the lyrics to the advert for I Love Horses magazine?
No, but I feel like I'm about to find out.
Yes, you are. Shut the fuck up.
I love horses, the best of all the animals. I love horses, they're my friends.
That's good. It almost rhymes in places.
Yeah,
Horse rhymes with horse. I like that.
Very good.
of course.
Very good.
Nailed it.
Of course, horse. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I love horses, best of all the animals. I love horses, they're my friends.
So the horse shanks itself out of the ferry, basically. That's the culmination of the scene. Horse goes mental, bolts out of his box, and gets what I can only describe as sushi'd.
Come on, mate.
That's racist.
Really?
Well, it gets cut up into small pieces. Have you never eaten sushi? It's got small cut up pieces of fish on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say minced, but yeah, if you want to play the Japanese angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'm racist. There you go.
I love horses, best of all the animals. I love horses, they're my friends.
Oh, it gets schwarmered. Now I'm racist against Turkish people.
Well, no, because it's a Japanese-based film.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I apologise to the people of Japan. Godzilla's staring at me. I don't like it. I'm sorry.
Come on,
I
mate.
didn't find anything by it. Anyway, and so Rachel gets a bit of a flashback of the tape because the visual of the blood coming out of the water is something that's on the tape as well.
Very beautiful looking. That red stands out against all the blues.
It does, yeah, because it's quite a drained palette generally. So if there is any colour or blood in it, it does stand out.
He does.
Speaking of standing out, Noah, who stands out as a totally useless prick here,
Sean Bean in Silent Hill.
yeah, literally the same, goes to the mental institute to look for Anna Morgan's medical records. They don't let him in after he says, "Come on, I've been up there loads of times." And the guy behind the counter's like, "All right, mate. Yeah, it's in the basement. So you've never been here, have you, dickhead?" And he gets turfed out and he's like, "Oh, fuck them guys, you just told me where it is, I'm going to break it." Like a fucking petulant child who's just had his ball taken off him. Is it just me, or is he just a deeply annoying and likeable twat?
He's the white dude out of Underworld Evolution, isn't he?
Yeah,
I don't even know the
more or
guy's
less,
name. I just call him White Dude.
He's this characterless drip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Personality vacuum.
He's not really doing anything too offensive, but you just think, well, there's got to be something a bit more to you than just journo guy that wants to help and also may die.
Yeah. He is just a drip. He's just a drip.
Yeah.
He is, in a selection of biscuits, he is the digestives.
Plain.
Yes. Yeah, he is the one that's left. Oh, what are them coconutty type ones?
Oh, well, like nice biscuits.
Yeah, they're fucking
you know,
balls.
yeah. Nice.
Ones that no one touches, you know.
Yeah.
He's a cucumber in a tuna salad.
He is, yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is very much like he's just like quinoa.
Oh my god, that's harsh.
It's just there, and you're expected to like it
Yeah.
because it's good for you.
It's additional matter that makes me feel nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing but contempt for the food I've eaten.
He is, at an ice cream parlour, vanilla. You got all these flavours.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and you pick vanilla. That's no
Vanilla is a classic, is the issue. And if you have buttercream vanilla, fuck me sideways. I will take that over Naomi Watts.
So, the problem I've now got here is that vanilla's my favourite flavour of ice cream, and this is really awkward for me. Oh, Wilson.
I'm sorry. I always hate the ones I love so dearly.
Anyway, so fucking dickhead Noah breaks into the record room.
Yeah.
There's a fly on the door when he goes in.
Yeah.
Interesting to know.
That was last episode.
Remember how good your episode was, Willie?
Yeah, it was fucking brilliant,
Go on,
wasn't
get
it?
your little red carpet out. Go on.
Yeah. Like to accept.
King Willie.
I like to fight Jesus.
Well, you're fighting Noah in this. So.
Hey, strong. This scene is intercut with. So I don't know if this is the editor being ironic, but Noah's inept investigatory work is intercut with Rachel's fantastic investigatory work in that she's like finding all this shit just on instinct. The next thing that happens without any leading is that she finds her way to the Morgan house and matches it up to the tape.
Yeah,
She's pretty smart, isn't she?
She's a lot smarter than this lad. No wonder they split up.
Yeah, definitely.
So she gets to Horse Ranch and finds Mr. Morgan, who's fucking played by Brian Cox, which is always good news.
But, yeah.
What's that?
So,
You need some scenery chewing by someone who looks like a complete alcoholic. No problem.
Let me just get me vest and me braces.
I fucking love Brian Cox. I think he's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
And he's good here as well, man. He's just not got a lot of material.
not really. Just
feel
like, where's your daughter? Don't have one. Really? No. But what about? No, don't have one.
He feels like he's out of place in this movie just because he's like on a different step to everyone else.
Yeah.
Like he's it feels like he's acting in a different movie
Yeah, absolutely.
with bad material.
Yeah. So they have a bit of a chat. Rachel sees the mirror from the video.
Yep.
It's a bit of a spook house vibe going on here.
Spook house.
Everybody
Strong.
get to the spook house.
Strong, yeah. And she then realises that the Morgan house is the same house from Aiden's drawings,
Yep.
which he drew before all this shit happened. See, that's never really properly explained, is it?
No, they don't anchor all of this stuff properly.
No.
They never explain why he had that prior connection,
Yeah.
unless I missed something.
No, they don't actually go into this. It's just like, oh, we'll have a creepy kid in there. Americans love that shit.
Yeah.
Did they do that in The Ring too? Because Naomi Watts is in that as well, isn't she?
Is she now?
I think so. I'll check.
Okay.
I think she's very briefly in it. Is that right? And
I can't remember the film at all. I have seen it, I just can't remember anything about it.
no, I can't remember.
Anyhow, what happens next, Wilson, while I'm researching The Ring 2?
Yeah,
So-
Gore Verbinski can't wait to move on and ignore that last point we should have picked up on.
Yeah.
So she goes to the island's doctor, who finally lays it all out for you. Yeah, this Samara, she's a bit batshit crazy.
It's just an info dump by a new character.
Yeah, the island's a lot better without her.
Yeah.
You know, she drove her mum crazy and all this lot.
Yeah.
And, well, that's basically it. They still imply that Samara is on the other island, like basically the mainland, hidden away somewhere, but they don't really build on that in all fairness. And then Rachel goes back to the Morgan house and watches what turns out to be the missing videotape from Noah's dead end research of Samara being interviewed by a doctor.
Who is her dad, right?
Yes,
that is the
yeah,
voice.
about to say they
Yeah,
confirm.
okay.
Yeah, it's her dad, or adopted dad, should say.
Yes, sorry.
Apparently, I might think if they tried to conceive, they couldn't. So when we went to Japan one time, they adopted.
A white kid.
Yes,
Yeah. They went off somewhere and brought back a kid, didn't they?
they did. Yes,
Yeah.
called Samara.
Which is a Japanese word.
It is.
It is,
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the name. Obviously, a lot of the names have been changed from the Japanese version. That one hasn't. Just completed my research on The Ring 2, and now I know why I can't remember it, because I've just read the plot on IMDb. It is led by Naomi Watts again. She's the lead in it. Her child is in it. It is the same kid playing her child, and the premise is that Samara's after her son again. It's basically the same film over again.
Oh, okay.
I'll give it a go.
It's directed by Hideo Nakata, though, who directed the Japanese ones.
Okay.
So I think visually it's a little bit more interesting, but
Yes.
plot-wise, it's fucking pretty dull by the
Probably.
memory.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So on this tape, right? So you might have to fill in some blanks, Mia, because this film did actually confuse me. So they find this girl from parts unknown.
Yep,
Is that correct?
that's correct. Yep.
And they bring her back.
Yep.
Is it hinted at that because I couldn't work out who the fuck was the bad guy and who was the victim in this relationship. But like, is the girl, did she latch onto them because they wanted a kid and they involuntarily brought her back, or did they take her against their will, sort of thing? I can't tell if the mum's evil or the kid's evil.
Yeah, I thought they brought her back out of love, but then it turned out that the dad just absolutely couldn't stand her, but her mum loved her.
Right.
But somehow that made her mum crazy. Because...
See, I thought the twist was that the dad actually loved her and it was the mum that hated her.
Yeah,
I mean, there is a heel turn later, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where it comes from.
Like, what?
Yeah, I think she's basically telling a lie and saying it's like, yeah, mummy loved me, but daddy hated me.
Right.
But it turns out that's not actually true.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been written by The Big Show.
Oh, I've actually got a line here. I've actually got lines here. So she says, I love my mummy and daddy loves the horses more than me.
Right, okay, yeah.
Hence the horse business.
That horse
Yeah,
business.
she's horsing around.
Have we got to the bit where...
She's going to kill the horse's neighbours as well.
Oh...
Can we get back to the main subject at hand, please? And get back to the film. Never going to top that, to be fair.
No.
That was a clap. Beautiful.
Yeah, the horse is bolted on that one.
And they're off.
Grand National. Have we got to the bit where Noah eventually fucking finds Samara's mental hospital tape? Or the box for it?
That is the tape, that one about.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Finds the tape in the house and he finds the pictures, doesn't he?
Right,
yes,
sorry.
Right, yeah.
My Ring 2 research threw me out a little bit
Yes,
of the
that's
Ring
right,
1,
yeah.
so I'm just catching up with it.
I just quickly slotted in there that Noah didn't find the videotape because it was already at the Morgan house.
That's right, and she watches it, doesn't she?
That's right.
And then she rumbles with the dad.
Well, not really.
A
A bit. So he stood there watching her, watching the tape.
Yep.
And then, so he approached the lamp, so on. That's about it. Then he just, bear in mind, he's already got a bloody extension cord around his neck.
I was going to say, he looks like me whenever I'm trying to plug a USB in down there.
And he wanders upstairs while Rachel's like shouting questions at him about everything. And he like nicks the TV as well, carries her upstairs with him.
Fucking unit, yeah.
He goes into a bathroom where it's all a bit wet and there's all electrical appliances already there.
Yeah.
And he stands in a bathtub with a TV, plugs it in, chucks it in.
No, he's got the horse bridles, which are connected
Oh, okay, I didn't even get
via
that.
wires to the big stack that he's got.
Yeah.
So it's symbolic, Willie.
Yeah.
He's throwing the metal horse bridles in.
Okay.
Fuck off.
When he grabbed that telly
Yeah.
and took off with it,
Yeah.
I was transported back to the Night of the Living Dead remake,
yeah,
mate,
yeah.
with that TV banter.
Cooper!
Yeah.
Cooper!
Punchy yo-yos!
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, so he chucks TV in and electrocutes himself while Rachel's pleading with him. And I've got my niche wrestling reference for a week here.
Excellent fire.
So do you remember in like 2005, WWE.com had a series of shorts called The Lunchtime Suicides?
What the fuck?
No.
So it was a series with referee Tim White trying to kill himself while Josh Matthews stood in the background saying, "No, Mr. White, don't do that. That's unwise. Please, Mr. White, no."
What the fuck?
I know.
It was a strange time, wasn't it?
This was literally... This series aired about a month after Eddie Guerrero died.
Yeah, it was a really tasteless time in WWE history. It was a dark couple of years, that period.
Just a bit. I'll get them up on YouTube after this.
I'm alright, I've really got to go after this.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'll leave that one in Vince McMahon's grave, thank you.
Okay.
Cheers, though. I've got the mental image.
Alright, fair enough.
I'm sure I'll see it on Wrestling with Regret one night.
Oh, you should totally watch Dark Side of the Ring, by the way. It's on 4 on demand. It's a series of 6 episodes of stories about different things about them. Watch it, it's fucking brilliant.
Lovely.
Anyway, Noah tips up next in the ring, and they go to the barn. They find the ladder from the video. Nice, strong imagery. Quite like
Beautiful, that
Yeah.
almost bottomless ladder into darkness, isn't it?
Lovely. And then they find the place that Samara was kept in the barn.
Yeah.
And then they do the classic horror cliche shit of there's a little bit of loose wallpaper, there's something behind it. Let's peel it all off.
With a lone TV.
Yeah, it's a tree. It's been burnt into the wall. Fucking great.
Yeah.
Day 7.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Rachel and Noah go back to the lodge. This is where it gets very nice and red and quite nicely lit and shot. And different.
Yeah.
So just the one thing they didn't pick up in this last sequence in the barn is that J-horror at that time, and what they should have included was the fact that it's based around a videotape and TVs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a late 90s Japanese thing. Is like a technophobia.
Yeah.
That's where kind of like body horror Japanese stuff like Tetsuo Iron Man comes from.
Sure.
It's people just being consumed by electronics. And obviously in Japan, 80s and 90s, everything comes out of Japan.
Yep.
And I can't remember the name of it, but there's like a subculture, and it's a derogatory word for people that just spend all their time with technology and don't see people.
Yeah.
And this film is supposed to, with the TVs and the tape, it's supposed to be kind of like technology consuming and killing people slowly.
Yeah.
And they certainly haven't gone with that angle in this, I don't think.
No, I think we've just basically done a straight up.
Yeah.
Ooh, spooky.
The TV comes on static. Oh, that's spooky, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no real subtext. It's just like, oh yeah, that's static. That looks really cool. We'll go for that.
Yeah. Something really contrived happens here.
Goodness.
So many in one episode.
I know, I'm sorry.
Toothbrush and mouthwash there.
Thank you. So frustration builds.
What, in you or?
With Rachel and Noah, where they're pacing around the lodge and they're frustrated and they're like, oh, for fuck's sake, there must be a reason we're here. And I can't remember which one of them it is. Someone smashes a jar of marbles.
Oh yeah, this was really contrived. Bloody hell.
Told you it was.
Yeah, I've even got down the word contrived.
And they all roll.
Yeah, and Noah kicks off because Rachel's giving up, like, because it's day 7. It's like, oh, it's too late. I'm going to die any minute, you know. Well. And he's like, no! Chucks a ball of marbles that are there for some reason down.
Yeah.
And they fall into an arrow shape.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So then they're like, fuck it, there must be something there. And they pull the floor up and find the well.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And they start digging it up, I'm right thinking, yeah.
They do, yeah. And while they're digging it up, the TV comes on. And some water starts coming through the floorboards. Screws start coming up. Again, this is a Brothers Key thing. I recommend you watch some of their short films if you really want to watch some fucked up shit sometime. Watch them. And the TV sort of falls over and knocks Rachel down the well.
Yeah,
in a really funny way.
Yeah, thank you. I've got the same note. Yeah, I thought this was hilarious. She just gets absolutely bonked by this TV. She falls down
head first.
Yeah, I don't think we saw the intended effect here. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious as well. So yeah, she's welling up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when she's down there, she sees fingernails and scratch marks in the wall. Pretty grim scenes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the wall lid closes itself by the power of Grayskull. And then we get
fucking magnets.
The call back to what we were talking about earlier.
Call back.
Samara grabs Rachel's arm in the well.
Okay, yeah.
In the same place.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work still, does it? I mean, it's all a bit pointless.
It's trying to do the non-linear thing.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
Yeah. And then when she grabs her hand, they make some kind of like connection, and we see Samara's vision of what happened to her.
Yeah.
And then we get the heel turn.
Out of nowhere. Back shot to the back of the head.
Yeah. This was in terms of like heel turns, this was like Seth Rollins hitting the Shield with that steel chair. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see this shit coming. I forgot that it was the mother as well when I watched
off the Titantron as well.
Yeah. It's like the time when it wasn't really a heel turn, but in terms of effectiveness and involving sort of cylindrical shapes, like the time when Big Show threw John Cena through that big stage light. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Similar sort of situation. So yeah, she gets the vision. It was the mother, and then we're back in reality, and Rachel's cradling Samara's body, skeleton.
Lovely decomposition effects here.
Yeah, really. Considering it was 2002 as well.
Yeah.
Did a good job, I reckon.
It's aged quite well. It's top end.
Yeah. It's a really sort of heartfelt scene almost.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Quite bleak. And then you get another heel turn that fucks it up, so...
Well, we'll get to that.
It's like when Big Show cries, it's like, who the fuck cares?
You'll be turning ill in a week anyway.
Yeah.
I've got no sympathy for you.
So yeah, so they fish Rachel out of the well, and it's daytime, so that means it's happily ever after.
Yeah, like police turn up. Someone says it's over, which is like, oh, you don't say with a horror film.
And then I check how much
Say.
time I've got left in VLC. I'm like, fucking
You know
hell.
what?
Yeah.
I did the
15
same
minutes.
I did the same thing. Just like, yep, that fucks it.
Yeah, exactly. And then they go back home to Aiden, and she explains what happened to him, and it does the only interesting thing of the entire film is he really fucking creepily fucking says that she shouldn't have helped Samara and his nose starts bleeding. Thought it was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, we all knew it was
Should have ended
coming.
there, but
Yeah, exactly. It should have ended there. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, and Elle says like she never sleeps.
Yeah, exactly. It was really creepy, that little bit with him.
Yeah, I think it works really well, this scene.
Yeah. And then we go back to Noah. TV static comes on, and we get the imagery that everyone's familiar with.
Now this is iconic.
Yes, it is. Just the same as Jeff Goldblum breaking that guy's arm in The Fly.
this is 2 hours too late, to be fair.
Yeah, it is.
It seems to be. I'm alright in thinking this is the shot that they used in the trailers and everything as well.
Yeah.
So this is like the ending bit, more or less.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
The punchline.
You get this shot early doors in the Japanese version, right?
Yeah, the
You
Japanese version, there's a super creepy bit in the Japanese version where someone knocks the TV over. Like, he doesn't knock the TV over, does he? I can't remember.
No,
she comes through
he
it,
just
doesn't
plays
she?
it and she just comes through it.
So in the Japanese one, I can't remember if it's the first one or one of them anyway, this scene's always stuck in my mind, is that, like, she's coming through this evening, she gets really close to coming through it, and the person jumps up and smashes the TV on the floor, and it all goes off. And you think, oh, brilliant, that's great.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they turn around, and the static comes on in the background, and you just see, like, Samara's arm come out from underneath
Oh,
it.
shit, yeah.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And it's fucking absolutely ruthless.
Yeah.
That sounds like a sequel thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it might.
After breaking expectations.
Yeah, I think it's maybe the second Japanese one, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyhow, he dead basically. Isn't
Yeah.
he? Quote you.
And this, well, best bit of the film, in all fairness. I still thinking, though it's played out, I'm sure it's been parodied tons of times as well. Her all like coming through the TV, it's just really effective.
Yeah.
The way that she's caught with that TV static,
Yeah.
like sort of black and white as well, and like the way she judders and everything, it's just fantastically done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and it's kind of sort of by default kill of the week, isn't it? Really, because there's not been many kills either.
Yeah, I'll say we need
It's
to.
his second kill. Having the girl at the start.
Yeah. We
only
need to
one
start
that's
watching
on
films
screen.
with kills again. I think we've gone like about 4 episodes now without more than an average of 1 kill.
I know.
Oh,
yeah.
I got you covered, man. I got you covered, man.
Yeah, so Rachel finds Noah, he's all fucked up, isn't he?
Yep. So she goes back home for a good old fashioned freak out.
Yeah, and then while she's freaking out, she happens to look under the sofa, and like you do, you find your fucking, like, all your old shit, your jiffy bags, your fucking
Loose paper clips.
loose paper clips.
dropship,
Yeah, exactly. You know,
guitars,
screwed up bits of paper,
batteries.
A stray
all that shit.
Malteser.
Yeah, And a
Spare
copy of
bandana.
a videotape.
That's the one, yes.
Yeah.
There probably is one down there.
Yeah. You'd be boiling if you were her at this point when you'd been through all of this shit. You'd been to some fucking island, you've fallen down a well, like, hilariously. You know, you've seen your ex-partner you're kind of back in love with have his head twisted off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the end and you think, fuck, you just needed to make a fucking copy. Bollocks. Like, how frustrated would you be in that situation?
Yeah.
So then she gets the kid to make a copy with her Finn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Finito.
Yeah.
So, because I'm conscious of the fact that we need to squeeze in the end of year awards quickly as well, I'm
Yep.
just gonna let's rattle off some quick final thoughts. Dave.
First half, all right.
Yep.
Quickly turns into convoluted Yankee shanky bollocks.
Yep.
Fairly standard affair after the first hour.
Yep.
Naomi Watts, love you, please. It was all right.
Fair.
It was all right.
I think that's quite a good, accurate, concise assessment.
Yeah,
I'd say.
hands him a very dull work on the score. You wouldn't even notice him.
Yeah, didn't even notice any of the
Didn't even
score.
notice the score. No. Bit of grumpy cello every now and again.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Hans.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, Hans's intern, who he made do it and then take the credit for.
Klaus Badel. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
I enjoyed it more watching it than
Thinking about it.
what I did thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
I rated it a lot higher, whereas now where you talk about it, I was sort of thinking, well, yeah, there's a lot of holes in here, there's a lot of flaws. Probably not enough to take away my enjoyment of the film. I quite liked how it was this like slow burn procedural sort of thing going on. It was a bit more different to some of other horror films that we've seen. But yeah, it's probably another one of these, and we've come across a few of these on this podcast where if you talk about it, you're pretty much fucking the film over. Because suddenly you realise, well, hang on a minute.
Totally.
This was meant to be popcorn fodder and chaff.
Yeah.
And now that I've thought about it.
Absolutely.
This was not meant to be a tour podcast.
Popcorn's gone stale. What did you think, Roberto?
I totally agree with the both of you, to be honest. I had a really good time watching this. It brought back some fond memories of when I watched it when I was quite a lot younger, when it first came out on DVD, and I shit myself.
Yeah.
And it also brought back fond memories of the Japanese films, which I need to revisit, which I think are excellent. Well, the first two are. Yeah, but it is convoluted hot fodder, you're right.
Yeah.
But in a sense, that's almost part of its charm.
Yeah.
In a sense. So yeah, I very much, same as Wilson, I enjoyed watching it much more than I enjoyed talking about it.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. So, shall we throw some shit and popcorn over it?
And
Dave.
bear in mind what rating you give here. If it's too high or too low, it may fuck up the awards ceremony. That's happening in 2 minutes' time.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck, I don't
But
think it's-
I'll know very quickly. So,
Yeah, okay.
continue.
Poos?
Poos.
yep, turds.
3?
Okay, yeah, that's lower than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I can't really complain about anything that much.
Yeah,
It just gets a bit baggy and a bit convoluted later on.
yeah. I mean, we have just spent the last hour and a half complaining about it largely.
Yeah. But like, to watch it,
Yeah.
nothing jumps out at me as like, oh, that's really shit.
Yeah, no, I think I see where you're coming from, totally.
Yeah. It just glides through and then it's over.
Yeah.
It's a functional piece.
Yeah. It's content.
Matter. Like Pom Bears. You've eaten 12 bags? Can't tell I've eaten 12 bags.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Popcorn 6.
Okay, yeah.
It's a
cool.
watching experience, not a talking experience.
Yeah. Christophe.
Turds 3.
Okay.
Again,
Mental high five.
yeah. It was perfectly fine. I didn't see much wrong with it technically. CGI and stuff was decent, apart from that ladder falling in that video. That was a bit a bit naff in all fairness.
Yeah.
But yeah, no real complaints in that regard. Apart from, you're right, like, you know, for example, like, why is there a creepy kid that doesn't blink there and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Nothing too bad like that. Popcorn, I'll go with a 7, which
Ooh.
it was originally an 8, actually, but
Oh dear.
I thought I'd knock one down based on what we've discussed here.
Yeah.
That extra point was just Naomi Watts in her underwear, so.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. In fact, I'll give it a 45. There you go.
There we go.
Film of the year.
Film of the year, done.
What was the fucking film?
The fuck was that?
We're going then, Rob. Turds and popcorn.
Turds. I'm going to go 4.
Every day.
I'm going to go 4.
shoveling.
4 for the turds.
Yep.
For the reasons we've discussed, and like just like the basic lack of thought that goes into some elements of it, like the library being open on a Sunday, and like the total pointlessness of the kid for large swathes of the film. So I'm going to go with a 4 on that front.
Okay, and in terms of runaway horses, aka popcorns.
Yep. I'm going to concur entirely with Christopher Wilson and go with a 7 as well.
Really good.
So yeah, same reasons. I had a really good time watching it. Discussing it, it's come down a little bit from what I originally put down for it. But I think generally speaking, it was a rollicking good time versus some of the things I've seen in the past. We kind of have to keep it in context of what we've seen, don't we? A little bit.
It's alright, it's not bad.
A little bit. It's alright.
It's a good time.
It's not Carlin.
It's not Carlin, is it?
It absolutely isn't. So yeah, that's kind of my rationale for that.
Very good.
So next in the chair. Oh no, it's not. It's awards season, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Can I make a request? I would like the vintage 90s King of the Ring music putting over this, please.
Can do.
Yeah, fine with me.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
There we go.
Got the old envelope. There we go.
So nothing we've covered this week there with the ring has affected any of the thing that we have in our hands.
Spoilers.
So
It's a fix.
Demand a recount.
So you can go through every episode for the year and do a recount if you want, mate, but I don't recommend it.
No.
So Chris Wilson, you have the
Film of the year.
Do you have the popcorn film of the year?
Yes, that's
Read the
right.
full title, please.
Oh, I've got to do... Am I reading it out now?
Well, you've got to read the title of what you've got
The
first.
category is, yeah.
So, for the Butterkist Award for Popcorn Film of the Year, in association with Stars.
Do it on the mic.
Stars.
There we go.
In third place, we have Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Ooh.
In second place, The Hills Have Eyes.
Fair.
Bloody hell, you've done a good job here, Rob.
Thank you.
In first place, it's Final Destination 3. The Film of the Year.
Popcorn film of the year.
Popcorn Film
Don't
of the
forget,
Year.
this is the film of the year, the combined total of the two, remember?
Fair enough.
Rob's got the ultimate winner for himself.
Yeah.
He did the numbers, to be fair.
I'd crunch the
Well, I
numbers,
mean,
mate, sorry.
It's only fair. You have to listen back. Although I noticed like our listenership has really spiked through the roof.
It's because of me listening back to more, probably, yeah. So what have you got there, Dave, in your little grubby hands?
With my little greasy envelope, yes. I've got the Armitage Shanks Award for Shitter of the Year.
I wonder what'll win this.
Oh, absolute shiter time.
Oh dear God.
You ready?
Ready.
How is that there? Fucking hell, okay. In third place, we have Bram Stoker's Legend of the Mummy Part 2. Deservedly so. In second place, we have Jaws 3D.
Yeah, I was surprised by that when I crunched the numbers.
Yeah, because I always thought that was a mid-card offender.
Yeah.
That was going to... and in first place, naturally, we have The Exorcist 2, Le Heretic.
Yes, we do, don't we? That was nailed on for quite a long time ago, wasn't it, really?
It was,
Was it like about 2 episodes after we did the last awards and it was just like, well, that's
Yeah,
wrapped
well,
up
that's
the
it,
whole
yeah.
fucking year then.
You know what? The top 2 of them, Jaws 3D and The Exorcist, I think were back to back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think they were back to back. Very close to each other.
That is rough.
Yeah.
That is rough.
It's a rough time.
Was Jaws 3D your choice?
No, Jaws
No,
3D was
awesome.
mine.
Yeah, okay.
But no, so Rob's got the top 2 in both categories so far.
So this is where our unique rating system throws up some really fucking weird results when you combine the two.
Okay.
So
this is the overall category.
So this is the overall film of the year based on our unique metric. Bearing in mind, Amityville 4 won it last year. Mm-hmm. So you know what kind of tertiary we're aiming
It was
for.
dog shit, and it was amazing.
It was entertaining and shit.
So this is entering the Hall of Fame. Our physical wing, now available. You know, come down and watch it.
In at 3, Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
Our most listened to episode ever.
In at 2, 13 Ghosts.
How is this system working?
Feel free to go through the notepad.
I won't do no. I
believe you.
agree with you, but what is going on?
It's because if you, found something... If you think something's fucking shit, which 13 Ghosts is,
Yeah.
then you give it a high score, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's a 10 turds.
Yeah. But if you are fairly entertained by some of the shit, which you slightly less, but me and Dave both were, a little bit with 13 Ghosts, then that is what tips the metric. It's the films that are fucking shit, but get more than, 2 or 3 on the popcorn side.
Yeah, so it's 10 turds, 10 popcorn. Like what Amityville Horror did last year.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, number 1 then.
Number 1 is Tremors 3 Back to Perfection.
Goodbye forever. Get Richard. I'm not doing this anymore.
It's not a positive thing. It's like winning an STI, Willie.
Yeah.
But it's in the Hall of Fame now.
Infamy. They've all got an infamy. It's a Hall of Infamy, isn't it?
Yeah, Hall of Fame don't matter. Devon Dudley's in the Hall of Fame.
Fair point. Isn't Brutus the Barber Beefcake in the Hall of Fame?
I'm not friends with this podcast anymore. I much prefer Tim's podcast.
Oh, fucking hell.
Without a mouse. Listen to it on the We Made This network.
Dear.
Much better than this shite.
Next fortnight, it's Dave's turn in the chair.
No, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not working with that cunt.
Next fortnight, I'm talking about Dave's pick on my own. What am I talking about on my own, Dave?
You're talking about 2013's Riddick.
I am indeed.
I think it's 2013.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Look, I look forward to talking to myself for an hour and a half about that.
Oh, I like Batista. Oh, Batista. Oh, Batista's dead.
I walk for miles inside this bit of danger. Right, anyway, it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Yeah.
It's goodbye from you, Dave Walker.
It is goodbye from me, Dave Walker.
And it's goodbye from you, Christopher Wilson.
Fucking Tremors 3!
Tracking's touchy, mate. If you like this podcast muchly, you can find more CineMortuary on Facebook on our page, which is some address of some description. We're also on Twitter at CineMortuary. And you can find us on iTunes and Spotify, which is kind of redundant because you're probably listening to it right now anyway. Bye.